All right, let us see if everything is operational. There was a bit of an update. Okay, that is running perfectly. I'm going to now test this right here.
You serious?
Increase the audio. There we go. That will be better. And now, time to proceed. Tonight, we are going to be doing a shorter stream. This is a short commission that I'm getting done. I have been offline for a while. Time will... the times of streaming will be a little sporadic. I'll try and get back on top of it. We'll see. Something that I am noticing, though, and this is not necessarily an excuse for myself, it's more an observation. I follow around 3 to 4 dozen channels that regularly live stream. 2/3 of them have cut back. About 1/3 of them are gone to about a half of them are gone. Of the number that still do stream, it is declining rapidly. That is because they are all doing, many of them are doing it for money. I am not doing this for money. I do it because I have the time and gives me something to do during the evening. Last couple of evenings has been a little distracting for me. Times are changing. Economy is getting more difficult, and I'm trying to navigate what plan next needs to be. I don't know what that is going to shape into, but right now I am in a series of trying to figure out what to do to navigate the world that I see unfolding before me. Anyway, nothing more to say than that. For now. This commission right here is a pretty small one. It is... Wait a minute. Something glitched on this. Maybe? This right here is a terminal that is going to be hopefully animating accordingly. It's supposed to give an image right here, and it is not working. I did have it working earlier, so it may take me a moment to figure out what happened to it. Undefined. Weird. These are tied to text files, and for it to be glitching is a bit peculiar to me. Let's try and connect this manually. It's there. Undefined. My bad. Okay, well, stand by just a second. Lo and behold, I believe this thing was made for something different. Yeah, looks like I might have messed that up. That's unfortunate. Why would it be saying undefined then? How do I fix that without doing a complete overhaul to this? Don't save. Well, I should have double checked that before I proceeded. It will be a moment for that to update, because the Blender file is outdated. Well, while that is happening, might as well go into some more details as to why I think that the economy is in trouble. I mean, got the time. Better than restarting. Download manually. Oh, I canceled out of it. That's what happened. All right. So, what has happened to our culture, to our economy, to the world? Well, tensions are rising. You can feel it. You can smell it. It's everywhere. Times are changing fast, and a lot of people are starting to duck down their heads. A lot of people are trying to cash out, you could say. I've been watching many commentators who have been evaluating the current trends of the culture and saying, we're heading to something very troubling. I sensed that years ago, just like many others. Couldn't quite figure out what it was turning into, though. Some people might say that is a bit of a pessimistic outlook on things, to just assume that things are going to be bad. One could say that. Or someone could say that it is being wise and proactive. Evaluating the winds so you can be able to navigate it. If a storm is coming, you know how to adjust your sails. You know where to set down anchor or to lift your anchor. You know if you need to go into a harbor or try and flee. But you have to know what is coming to be able to see the winds change, to feel the atmosphere and say a storm is coming. And there is a storm coming. But it's not going to be as bad as some people think. It's also going to be, I think, worse than other people think. See, there's some people, they want very desperately for something bad to happen. Life has been one excitement after another, one tragedy after another. I remember from when I was young. The world changed on September 11th. The world became chaotic. And suddenly, panic and fear started to reign over our culture. Whether it was the news, whether it was the economy, we have had booms and busts. Things have still pressed on. If I was to say that the worst thing in our lifetime was September 11th, well, then that means everything's been fairly neutral since then. If I said September 11th was the precursor to something else, it becomes suddenly very overwhelming because it's saying that something worse could happen. But what if something worse is a little bit worse than the previous thing? Does it make it a tragedy? Yes, it does. But does it make it so overwhelming that you can't navigate it? See, we have the ability to navigate troubles. Just because we observe something bad coming doesn't mean that it's going to destroy us. It doesn't mean that we have to cower in fear and quit. Well, a lot of people are in that cowering position right now. They are very nervous about the things that are coming, and they can smell the troubles starting to mount. But the thing that gets me is not being able to observe or deny the changes. It's about how you treat one another in the midst of that. There are some people who are deciding that they don't have to treat people with kindness anymore as a result of all the frustrations. That is very wrong, and that does nothing more than shares the pains and frustrations with another person, making someone else have to share the same burden that you have, but you become the inflictor of pain rather than the one who tries to help. We have a choice. If I go over and touch a fire and find that I've burned my hand, it hurts. It has damage that can take days or weeks or even years to heal. What sort of man would I be if I saw someone else and said, I'm not going to show them this injury. Hey, go over and touch the fire. And then when they do, you laugh at them. What sort of man would do that? Versus saying, hey, don't go near the fire. I got burned, and you will too. Don't be afraid of the fire, but also don't underestimate it. Which one is more beneficial? Which one came away and said, I'm going to make the world better? Someone comes along and says, you're such a pessimist. Do you think someone's going to burn themselves? And you're trying to warn them against it. What if they know how to navigate through fire? It's not bad to be able to tell people to be wary. It's not bad to be able to say, navigate based upon what other people are experiencing. Which one is better for a society to have? The person who hides the trouble and says, just go along with it? Or the person who says, hey, I got burned. We got a problem. Let's work around it. There are some people right now who are desperately afraid of losing their wealth. And I've seen people trying to hold on to it with a death grip. They think that somehow by holding on to it, they'll be able to avoid the challenges that are coming. The financial challenges that are hitting many people right now and soon will probably hit the rest of us. I put myself in that category of people that will probably be hit within the next few years. Maybe not months, but within the next 5 years, I think I'll be hit. Right now I'm in Alaska. I'm relatively disconnected from the rest of the country and thankfully have a little bit of cushion time, you could say. But it will still hit here. And I can see it coming. My industry has been teetering ever since I was in college. I was warned, get out. I didn't. I didn't because I had a belief that there was good that could be done if I went into the field. I don't think that will happen forever. I don't think I'll be able to make a living on this stuff in the future. That's one of the reasons why I have this. Little cards I can give away to people. Say, hey, I wrote something. Hopefully it is something that can help inspire you. It's something I can give away that still allows me to be a part of my industry, but says, hey, we are in tough times and things are not going to be the same moving forward. Still able to practice your craft while at the same time saying it's probably not going to be ideal. Being able to navigate the world coming down the way, being able to say, hey, we're going to just avoid certain pitfalls, but still press forward. Hey, greetings there, Wolfie. How you doing? Things are going decent, if it wasn't for the need to update Blender. But I forgot to update it, and so here I am trying to do that during stream. How are things going with you? I've been away for the last couple of days, and I was just finishing up rambling as to why. But it is something where I am trying to debate a little bit about what the future is going to hold for these streams and for my projects as a whole. About to call a night that I saw you were streaming, yeah. Yeah, I got started a little later than I was wanting to. Not much is really happening tonight. I'm in the process of trying to get a computer terminal animation all set up. When I realized that Blender was outdated and the tool that I was using on my laptop doesn't transition over here. It's gonna happen. Okay, finish up and it should be good to go. All right, so start up Blender 4.5. Finally. Import preferences and good to go. Hopefully we are now operational. Please load. Victory. Look at that goofy looking thing. Okay. Now I can come in and actually update this. So how am I designing this? I'm designing it in, of all programs, oh, wait a minute, where'd it go? A text editor. Maximize. Here we go. This is how I am designing this. Making it in a text typing tool. Okay. I just need to update these lenses so they are not completely solid. Uh-oh. It has been snowy up here the last 2 days. We are now in winter. And as such, it is a wonderful looking world outside. I hope to get a couple of pictures in these early, in this early week of our official season of winter. But I kind of have to wait for the right lighting. Why can I not see my text tool? I'm supposed to see the cursor when I do this, but we're just going to call it good after that right there. Save that, and now come over here, and I should be able to just update it straight from here. Aha! Perfect. So let's go over here and render it and see what this is looking like. Looks like we're going to be getting our first snow this coming week too. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Of course, the computer's going to freeze up on me. There we go. Okay, yeah, look at that. That turned out pretty nice. And this is going to be all animated. In fact, the animation is mostly operational right now. This is designed to look like the computer from the movie Alien. By the way, I finally watched the movie Alien. It was garbage. It was terrible. I know the people that probably grew up with it were like, "Oh, it's the best thing ever," but I looked at it and I just thought it was stupid. I've never been one for monster movies, period, but it was weird. And put this 155. Okay, now this is when the animation begins. So when we come here, it prints all the way down, and then up come the text additions there. Okay, we have to extend that out, put that out to 250. Man, this is such a neat new tool that Blender has. These are geometry nodes. Now, I avoided geometry nodes like the plague. They confused me, and I had a heck of a time trying to get it operational. I would have done something like this back in After Effects, but I don't have After Effects anymore. After Effects is dead to me. They abused the user base far too much. I said, that's it. Never using it again. But there was no good alternative. Blender, sadly, has not been very good for that sort of stuff until recently. This right here is done with geometry nodes in text files. It has some really neat functions because of that. I can now basically create a structured network of nodes to be able to animate this. This now has become a reusable template, and now I can control it with the features over here. It's not perfect. It still needs a little bit refined, but it gives me enough time to be able to work with it for the first video. These are short commissions. There are about, 10 of these? And so I needed something that was repeatable, something that was reusable. And now it is good to go. By the way, the neat thing about this is that I can be able to type, and there will be the computer screen, and this will be able to immediately just cover up text. So if you want to have something update and cover it up, it looks like this from above. Even though technically it is a series of blocks that are helping to conceal it. That's slightly skewed. I might have to adjust some of the positioning for this. Why is it doing that? Oh, wait, no. Okay, that's weird. Let me come up here and evaluate this. Ah, that's right. That is right. I have to shift this up a little bit. Yeah, my bad. All right, so I have to come over here and change the line spacing back to 1. There we go. Okay. Now it conceals it properly. Almost. Perfect. With 6-5. I need to retire for the night. I'm beat. Hope you have a good stream. I'll catch you later. Same to you, Wolfie. By the way, again, thanks for the message on email. Sorry again about not responding immediately. Me and emails don't go together very well, and didn't realize it until way too late. But anyway, rest well, sir. Hope tomorrow is productive, and chat with you the next time, whenever that is. Hey, greetings there, Bastion. How you doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. Okay, so that line right here. This line has to come back to there. 8, 8. Almost. 8, 7. 8, 5. 8, 5, 5. 8, 5, 4, 5. There we go. Found out DaVinci does not like my computer. Yeah, that's understandable. If you don't have a good computer for it, it can cause problems. Sorry to hear about that. DaVinci is a good program, but there's some problem points for it. And I hope that they correct them in the future, but yeah, it's not perfect. I will definitely say that. Does this line up now? I'll use the other video editor. Yep. Hey, if it works, it works. No need to stress about it if it's going to be troublesome. this continues to have problems. Let's duplicate this and bring it up here. Try and line it up as best as possible. Almost there. Okay. For this terminal. Okay, so that does line up. Almost. Four or five. Okay, so now that aligns up. This is the most troublesome part of it, is getting it all to be just right. Because if you don't get it right, then it causes problems later on. And I don't want to have to deal with this constantly for each one of the projects. So I just got to get it perfect, or close enough to perfect. So then it's reusable, and I'm in the clear. Okay, so now that that's lined up, I do realize there is a height difference. Well, now. It worked for the prototype, but now I'm seeing that this becomes a bit of a bigger problem. It lines up, but for whatever reason, it doesn't quite solve it all. Why is it doing that? Come back over here. Aha! The original cube is the wrong size. So that means I need to come back here and change the size of this. Maybe? 9.95? Oh, ho, 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 there we go. Okay, so I was not quite accurate there. Value. Aha. I should have thought about that. It's all very mathematical. And I was messing up on that. Hey, greetings there, Enigmatic. How are things with you? It just snowed down here. And so, it is finally starting to look like the standard Alaskan winter. Using these whole numbers is definitely helpful. So that means I have to correct this as well. 10 and 10. Aha! Lovely. Now, it should have automatically corrected it for the others. What about line height, though? Line height is 1. Should be good. Yeah, we got about 6 inches of snow on the ground. Perfect. Well, no more bugs for us for a while. Of course, I'm a big fan of that. Okay, so now it comes to here. Now it's all lined up. I wonder why it's now all lined up. That should not have worked. Oh, it's not lined up. Okay. There's still a little bit that is skewed. It's the cube on this one. The cube is not, where is it? It's instancing a cube curve from somewhere. Ben O'Cape finally got into the house, so we've been renovating for the past 3 years, thank the Lord. Indeed. Good timing for that. Hope it is a good experience. I've been looking into homes for myself, and prices down here are not favorable. We'll put it that way. I'm waiting for things to get a little bit cheaper, and I do believe we're coming to that point. We'll see. Maybe I'm a bit wishful thinking, but I think that we are heading towards a moment where it's going to finally get cheaper. We'll see. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's what's going on. Okay, let's swap out the string. Uh-huh. The block is a different dimension. Wow. I thought Unicode was supposed to help out with this. Why is it doing this? How have you been? It's been a while. It has been. I was helping out with relatives, and then I got back and I started realizing that I was encountering some walls when it came to some of the projects I was working on. It happened around the same time that I finished this right here. This is the story that I've been writing for the last couple of months. It's the first time I actually wrote something and put it out there. You can find it on the Castercraft website. But Pharaoh and the Smith was the project that I just finished creating. That has left me with a big question mark as to what to do next. Do I go into the next animations? Do I do things that are writing related? I don't really know. Seems like every time I've tried to work on something, it doesn't quite connect the way that I would have expected. So I'm trying to figure out what to do. Trying to figure out how to navigate things as best as possible to try and make the next thing that I develop all the more impactful. We'll see. But anyway, I'm trying to figure out what the future is going to hold for the sort of creative projects I'm working on, because I have a novel that's been in the works for a while. I also have a bunch of artwork that's in the works. I have animations that need to be finished up. There's a lot of question marks for me. And so, honestly, one thing to, if anyone is inclined, prayers are definitely accepted for and appreciated for guidance as to what to do with the next projects. I want to do things right. I want to do things wisely. And I don't quite know what that's going to look like for some of these things. Anyway, that's where I am. That's what I've been working on. Hey, greetings there, Aaron. Things are going decent. You just came in when I was talking about how things have been. A lot of question marks. A lot of projects I'm trying to figure out. How are you? What have you been up to? What is the font that I need for this? What if I go with a different font? That did nothing. Oh, because it's in here. Oh, that's right. I wanted the old-fashioned looking font, but not if it's going to cause scaling problems. Interesting. I'm also working on a model in Blender. Now we'll start to learn how to rig. I hope it goes well. Rigging is honestly a lot of fun. Well, if you're a problem solver like me, it can be a lot of fun. A lot of people get scared off from it, which is unfortunate because I think it's a great thing to practice. I'm going to save this as a copy because I'm not liking where some of this stuff is going. Terminal 1.1. Copy over line height. And gotta reshape that cube. Working with such small numbers, it's a little hard to line up. Okay, we want a little bit of overlap there. Just a little. And we want a little bit of overlap when it comes to this direction as well. Okay, now let's go to the top, make sure that it's overlapping. And it is a little bit. Come down here. And it is a little bit down there. Okay, hopefully that is now going to work. Let us see what it's doing elsewhere. Let's unhide the rest of these. Let's hide these ones right here, because that's not going to be necessary for right now. How is that shaping up? Okay, so that is lined up there, but it's not lined up in this direction. What is the reason for that? Okay, let's bring this on over. Oh, is it because of the font? Font should have been corrected. Let's try and go back. See what happens. I'm not liking this. I'm not liking this at all. Maybe I will have to go with this other font. I kind of was hoping it'd be Oh, wait a minute. Wrong one. There we go. Oh no. I had a bad feeling about this. Why is it all stretched all of a sudden? Oh, that's right, because the line spacing. All right, let's just try and make it work with this font, because this font, honestly, is probably going to be best, even if there is some slight problems. Because it looks old, and that is the point of this one right here. Line spacing 1. A little bit of a gap. Let's try and see if that works better. What happens when we have this right here? Okay, we're going to have to rescale the blocks again. Character spacing. Okay, let's see. Based upon this up here, 2 of them need to be per block. Okay, so come down here. Cube. Let's duplicate this cube just so we can keep it in the background, just in case. Put this to 0.5. Let us have it shifted over 0.25. You might remember this from earlier if you were paying attention to it. Yes, it is going to be a bit repetitive here. Okay. Because we're trying to fix what I broke. Have a good night, Bastion. Rest well, and we'll see you next time, whenever that is. Hope that your project goes well. Hopefully better than what this project's doing. Sign up with 1. And put this at 0. Okay, how about 0.5? Okay, let's have a little bit of the overlap. So I started off this stream by mentioning about being able to navigate challenging times. Well, there's something I've been pondering, and that is, how do you evaluate what you do when there is challenging times? How do you navigate the world when it starts to become confusing? Now, I don't have any answers for you necessarily for tonight, but I do just have some ideas. I've mentioned them already But there's one other thing I kind of want to explore. And that has to do with how build upon the idea that I mentioned earlier, which is how you treat one another when challenging times come your way. There's a guy on YouTube. I won't mention his name. He's relatively famous. But I was watching his stream, and during that time, he started mentioning about how, as challenging times were going to be coming, he wanted to kind of lash out at people. It's like, time for civility to be thrown out the window. He didn't use the word civility, but basically translated, it was civility out. It's basically civility be damned. Well, it made me start wondering, what does a person like that hope to gain by behaving like that? They won't find any joy. I can definitely guarantee that. If anything, they're going to find a lot of grief, because suddenly the rod that they are going to measure others with is going to be measured against them, or it's going to start. But it's important to consider how you treat people during times of chaos and times of madness. Because who's going to come along and try and help heal others in those times of frustration? Let's say, for example, that the jobs report, which is rumored to be way worse than people realize, if the jobs report ends up being really bad for the country, do you blame somebody for it? Do you lash out at somebody? Or do you say, hey, you know what? It was bad. Let's help those who need it. Let's not hold people in carry on perpetual rage. That's an important thing to consider, because there's going to be a lot of people in the coming weeks and months, if it does end up being bad, that are going to say, I'm going to get all I can while the getting's good. There's another streamer, I will mention him because he's not been very secretive about it, Tim Pool. Tim Pool has mentioned some very cold sort of responses in how he thinks people are going to behave, almost like it's going to be expected. When tough times come your way, what's your instinctive response? Do you think, oh dang, I gotta get all I can so me and my family can be well off? Or do you say, we all are hurting, let's try and maintain some kindness in the midst of it, lest we become barbaric? Which person are you going to want in your community? And let that define what sort of person you become. A lot of companies right now seem to be hell-bent on getting all they can while the getting's good. But it's not going to take much before people suddenly become cynically minded and overly selfish. Just make sure that when that happens, you maintain honor during that time. And you will probably fare better than that person, because you'll be trying to fix things. And people will come to you for help. And things will go much better, in my opinion. I won't go on too much longer for that, but anyway, I just want to mention that. Something that's been bouncing around in my mind, because right now we are in the middle of economic trial. Our government is shut down. It doesn't affect me a whole lot, but it does affect a whole lot of other people. Food stamps have been put on hold, which has affected a lot of people. Again, not me, but I do know it has affected many. Some should not be getting it. Others should and are not. But right now we are in the middle of economic frustration. We're not in a like in some sort of chaotic spiral yet, but we are going that direction. Should it happen over this holiday break, maintain your civility, or we all suffer, especially those who are uncivil. I'm trying to figure out if there is a bug that might be happening that I need to fix. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing it. Because right now, part of the problem is that my characters are, well, actually, let me try it like this. Okay, so it spits it out like this. Let's isolate this. So, when we have the character in here, it seems to be that it messes up the spacing. And I'm not sure why. Maybe by putting it in here, it will help to resolve this. All right, let's make it so that it lines up where it's 2 per box. That means it's going to have to be just like this. 2 per box. Definitely a problem with that. This is not a mono spaced font. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see if there's a way to edit this font. Where's the option for this? Let's put this on the desktop and try and edit this as is. Right. What is this font called again? It is called IBM. IBM. Copy that. Paste it here. And let's go over. Oh, that's right. That is right. Can't put it there. Have to put it in documents. That's how this is structured. It's a little bizarre. Very old system. Okay, so here is the font. Okay, so full block. What is the dimensions for this? How do I change this positioning? Okay, so this is no, come on. All right, so this is at 1080. 1080. And what happens if we open up the letter A? 1080. Okay, so that might not be the number that I'm looking for. Let's come over here. Font Forge. Letter kerning, I think is what I'm looking for. Kerning. Okay. Spacing, metrics, and kerning. Just sidebar with values. Keyboard, okay. How about I change it though based upon all of it? So what happens if we come here? Oh, yeah. Where is that again? It's... I have to try and type with it, and it will come up here. Metrics, new metric window. What happens if I change this number? Well now. Is that what I need? If I come over here, this is 120 over. Okay. 120 from the left. So that's not the problem. Aha, wait a minute. $120. What if we put 120 right there? And then put this to 0. Could be that slight little bit that's different. It might be the bearing. But it's all... Oh! Wait a minute. It's not the same width. Some of them are the wrong width. But is that the case for all of them, or did I mess up that feature? Well, there's one way to tell. Close out of that, don't save, and then reopen it. FontForge is not a good program, but it works. Gets the job done. New metric window. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Oh, no, it was correct. Okay. So it is a Unicode font. Which is good. That's what I want. So why does it not? Okay, here's another test. We want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay. You know what? Let's just take it all the way out to there. Okay, so it lines up right before this arrow. Right before the arrow. So now we come over here and we're going to do a copy paste. All right, well, at least now we know that it is indeed a true Unicode, Unicode font. Boy, my brain just skipping. Is that what we call it? No, it's golly, what is it called? Standard font. Okay, at least we know it's a standard like font. Which means that there's something else that might be causing this glitch. So we're going to line it up like this instead. Okay, that lines up. I do notice it is a little bit larger. Oh! You know, that actually might be a default. I was trying to treat this like 1 was 1. This thing... it's going over a little bit, just like what it showed in FontForge. So that means that we actually do have to change its scale, like this. Okay. I think this will work a little bit better. So, if we change the scale like this, okay, I think this will work. Let us change it so it's 1 for 1. Get this up here. Change this so that way it makes it a little bit easier to scale. That's lined up. Come on over here. Way to the end. Now scale it back. 7, 9. 7, 8, 5. Come on. 7, 8, 6. 7, 8, 7. 7, 8, 8. There we go. All right, so now that is lined up. So now here comes the other challenge. When we have to grab this and bring it on down. So that lines up. Does that line up with the new height, with the line height? Not entirely. So now this is where some of the other challenges were coming. So that means there's going to be a gap between these regardless. I'm fine with there being a gap. Fine with gap. But now that means we have to translate this into the other areas of the scene. Let's grab this and move it up here. Okay, now that will maintain some of the settings that put into there. So all the terminal from here is going to be operating off of that. But the large terminal is not. And I think I might be able to just duplicate this and bring it on over. Let me get that back up in operation. Oh yeah, I have to change the cube size. Put this back. So this is the ability to erase with the setting. Yeah, lined up pretty quickly. Okay, bring it on back. And 1. Okay, that was remarkably easy. Okay, and how about height? Point 1. 0.2. And 0.25. 0.15. 0.1. 0.05. Okay, almost there. This one will be slightly, but wrong one. Slightly different. 0.5. And 5. Almost perfect. And now it has to go over a little bit. So we increase this to 0.19. And a little bit on the x-axis. 0.11. Point 125. Okay, what's going on? Wait a second. Okay, I'm not going to ask questions about that one. Guess I'll just line it up and call it good for that. All right, we'll call that good. So right here we have the font, then we have the cover. Now this is based upon a grid system, so that way I can line it up and it will assist with the actual animation part of it. Kind of feels like I'm setting up a a printing press. I got my typeset right there. Now, I have to make sure to have this with levels. So I have that. I have levels set up on a different portion of the project here. So the way that I do that, so let's say for example I want to have it overwritten with this A right there. You line it up like this. So I want to overwrite that, I now have to have a level set up. So we're going to put in the math, transform geometry, combine XYZ. We want to move it on the Z axis. Map range, put that instead. Actually, let me bring this. Uh-oh. Let's bring it back so I can grab this, because actually I think I already, so to speak, programmed it. Okay, I do have it. Level. Level comes down to this point right here. Combined, divide, subtract. I think it's this one right here that I want to grab. So let's plug that in here instead. And now we're going to have a new area that gets plugged into there. And this one will be called level. I'm still trying to figure out geometry nodes. There's so many neat things you can do with it. Oh yeah, that's right. I don't plug it into there. I plug it into the final. Right here. Join and there. So if we have this set to 0, actually let me make sure that's the default. Default is 0. Okay, so come here and now want this at level 1. There we go. So now it has the ability to overwrite. And it's seen from above like this, so it gets to automatically correct that. So it's based upon levels. So which level of the animation is taking place, that is how it operates. And if I want to have it right afterwards, so then we're going to increase that. So that way it types up from earlier, and then it operates after this point, starting at the frame that was put in. All right, that works. So now I think I can be able to just duplicate that. I think that's automatically going over here. Okay, perfect. I'm going to put that at a 0 because it's overriding the main, and that doesn't need anything. Doesn't really impact it any. I'm just cleaning it up because I can. A clean scene makes it easier to operate. And I am far too guilty of taking shortcuts. So any chance I get to correct that, I should probably take it. Now we're going to have to shrink this down. Using the font system that was created for this. Come in here, grab this font element. And actually I might be able to group that. You know, I'm going to do that. Okay. Let's grab this right here, group that up. This is going to be terminal font. Copy. Come over here, paste. That way it's reusable. I don't hopefully have to worry about that again. Oh, golly. Now I have new problems I have to worry about. is line height. But because it's the same, I should be able to go in and correct that. Let me clean up this right here. Get rid of that, get rid of those, get rid of that, and that's good. Come in here, line height. Stretch it on out. Not there. That will be just fine. Let us bring this on down. Okay. So we have to match this level. Actually, let me line it up with the grid. Let's make it our ruler right here. Okay, so we got 1, 2. Okay, so it happens every 2. Delete that. Actually, let's use this as the other part of our ruler. Of course, the moment I try and grab too much, it's going to glitch. Okay, you know what? Won't worry about that. That has to do with... Okay, well, maybe there's bigger problems that are going on here. It's not many lines, so I don't have to worry about that too much. Okay, so now line this up. Start by lining it up for right here, and then we move down the line so that we can see if it's improving at all. We're going to have to correct this right here. I'm already noticing a problem. That is, it is offset. There we go. So that's one problem that has been resolved. Come down here and it goes line height, line height, line height. We want to have this right here. We want to have more control over this system. By doing this, it helps to give more precision. You want to line it up with the top of each one. Nice. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be close enough. I think that might be good enough. Scroll all the way down, and not quite, apparently. I need more control control. Wow. Never mind. Problem solved. Come on back up and view, and it is good. It does correct. I'm going to hide that as ruler, just in case we need it again in the future. Okay, now this is the grid from earlier. We're going to have to fix that grid before we can move forward, but I just want to see if this is looking correct. Actually, wait a minute. We'll move this into a new group called clear, because this is a clear setting for the screen. Let's try and reconstruct this. Let's just see if it just automatically lines up. Because that's the goal. I want to be able to line up instantly. Kind of like Lego pieces. Okay. It's looking mostly correct. I just want to copy something, and it's not going to work. Okay, that's fine. We'll just create something. Let us save this before moving forward. We're going to make a new text file. What sort of data should we put onto this? Let's have... what should... Okay. 251108. Captain's log 12. Entries. Two. what's something funnier we put in here? We want it to be something where people, if they paused on the video, they get a chance to kind of get a little bit of a laugh. Here we go. I stand by my belief that aliens are not real. Why does the crew... Wait a minute. No, I got something better here. Actually, wait a minute. Here's a better idea. How about let's put in just a generic Easter egg? Nothing too complex. Let's see. Okay, let's give this a shot. So now, hopefully, I'm able to duplicate this and then input in this extra text. And it does indeed match. Now I might have to add the cube system underneath it. But that'll be for later on. We'll have this happen after the majority of it is put out. Actually, no, we do need to have the cube system. Okay, so let's pull this on over. So I think I might be able to just save this area down here. String length, mesh. Oh, wait a minute, that might not operate the way I would think. Because this is based upon string length, and that is, there's going to be new lines. How about this? Blender geometry nodes. Right now it's built upon a line. Now I don't know how to turn this into a grid. I know how to turn it into a grid for some other things, but I'm not sure Wait a second. Okay, this might work. What'd this guy do? I know that there is a grid option, but I don't know how to plug it in properly. Open image in new tab. Oh, this actually might work. So I might have to do a different system for this. Grid. Capture attribute. Index. No, it's not that. There's a lot of guesswork in this sort of stuff. Too bad I can't make it where this one can maintain the new line. Otherwise I could just duplicate down here. But I have to do a completely different system here. Real shame. Let's just see what this looks like. Let's join this together, see what the grid looks like. Mesh into geometry, right. Okay, so it's up there. I want to have instance on points. Mesh line duplicate elements, cube. Let's try that for right now. Plug that into there, plug this in here, cut it. Right, so it's lined up like that, but it doesn't animate with it. Because right now the grid is not tied to this input. Wait a second. guess someone's working on this. Doesn't seem like they've come up with anything. How about let's try this? Special. Oh! That's right. Okay. This might be just what we need. Line break at... wait a second. Slice string. Right now I need the string input. Special character, string. Add strings, string. So I got an idea. No idea if this is going to work. I want this, this, this. This, this. And this. Copy. Paste. Bring it on up here. And as to be expected, it's not going to be showing just yet because we need to add in a connection point. That is going to be the value, which is going to actually be, in reality, the start. So this is going to be start frame. I should have preserved that from earlier. Come over here. We have speed, but we don't have start frame. So let us add in that to here. Where do we place this? Right there. Call this start frame. Now let me make sure this connection is correct. Start frame into there. And then we have string going into the string. That is correct. This is getting a bit messy though. So now, string into here. Okay. Goes on to there. But this is controlled by here. We need to control it by line break, but I don't know if that's going to happen for... Nope, it's not going to work. We need a way to detect where the new line is. For that, we need to... I need another connection here. Well, this may be something where I need to work on this tomorrow. I have to get another render set up here in just a moment. But I wanted to do just a little bit of streaming tonight. So we did an hour and 40, well, almost 2 hours. So it is something. I was hoping to get this part figured out, though. At least I got the general idea done. Soon it will be just a little bit more complex than what we see here. I like where this is going. Yeah, we'll figure this out. I'll figure this out on my own. But anyway, we're going to call it here. Have a pleasant evening and morning, everybody. No matter what happens in this world, and we're going to be exploring this more as the economic struggles seem to be rearing its head for a great many people. But no matter what happens in all of it, be civil to one another. Remember to treat others with love and kindness during this period of time. And also not to forget justice and honor, because you can't have that get forgotten in the process. But we're going to be exploring the subject more, because it is becoming a big issue for a lot of people. Anyway, looks like we're all good to go. Okay, well, have a pleasant evening, folks. See you later.